We're back on Born B464 with Mark Smith and his lovely daughter, Ashley Smith. And we're talking, before the break, we were talking about your wrestling career and what really happened and how long you were there in wrestling, right? And my question, I think, is you were how old when you decided to give it up, or you were too injured? Tell me what happened.
I was from the old school that believed that life was about two things. Number one, notoriety and fame, and number two, your fortune. And I walked into my apartment one night, and my first wife looked at me and said, "We're finished."
Why?
I mean, Kathryn, I was an awful guy. You know, in the book, I admit it. In the book, I don't put the blame on nobody. I'm not.
So that anger came out at her?
Sure, it came out at her. I mean, I wasn't the kind of guy that hits anybody or anything.
But you screamed?
Oh, gosh. Temper, the kind of thing, ultimatums, if you don't like it, get out. Things that and I loved her.
How old were you when
She was a good girl.
How old were you when you married her? Do you remember?
About 18.
19 maybe?
18, 19 to about 20, yeah, something like that.
Right. How long were you married?
About two and a half years.
So she left.
She left, and I don't blame her. I mean...
How long did it take you to smarten up?
I think it didn't take long, Kathryn, because even as a wrestler, yes, today we know it as sports entertainment. Definitely know who wins and loses. But I played a lot of sports. I never liked to lose. When I was shown that I was such an awful person, and I was, that I didn't deserve a family. Then, Kathryn, all of a sudden, you're down in such a hole where you say, look, and I plead with anybody in the audience, if you're hurting, if you're down that low, you don't have to give up. Sometimes we have to get down so low that the only place we have to look, you know, is up.
That's true.
And I had to say, big man, I need some help.
So when was that? How old were you? In your 20s? Were you in your 20s?
Yeah, early 20s. And
what did you decide to do with your life then?
Okay. Sometimes God has a sense of humor the way He deals with us, because I was out of wrestling. I really didn't know what I was going to do. I knew things in my life had to change. I stepped into a church. Then all of a sudden, people would stop me on the street that I didn't even know. And Kathryn, I'm not talking one or two times. I'm talking like a dozen times. Imagine just people stopping you. You were going into a Kroger or a Walmart or whatever. Son, there's something I need to tell you. You don't have to go to school for a long time to be a preacher. The same words from all these different people that I didn't know. And by the fifth or sixth time, Kathryn,
it hit you.
It scared me to death. It knocked me. I mean, it knocked me down, and I said, "Okay, wait a minute, big man. If this is what you want, you got to show the way." And I walked into a college, and I told the dean my story. She started crying. She said, "Mark, go get your books. You start class tomorrow."
So you became a minister.
And I said, okay. I mean, it just
changed your life.
Yeah. There's so much in my heart right now, Kathryn. You know, I wish I had the words to say it, to say to you, to say to the people in the audience, whether you're my age, older, or Ashley's age, whatever the case may be. It's not the fact that just don't give up. It's okay not to have all the answers. And it's okay to live one day at a time sometimes.
And to lose the anger?
Yeah, I had to start forgiving people, and I had to stop blaming everybody else, and I had to go start apologizing to people. If I saw people at Chick-fil-A, I'd go up to the table and say, I've done you wrong, I need to apologize. And I'd be crying when I did it. Mm-hmm. And they'd be, gosh, I'm gonna cry now telling you about it. But they would hold me and they would say, I forgive you. I had this one person look at me. Before I even said anything, Kathryn, they looked at me and they said, something's changed in you. And I said, what do you mean? They said, in your eyes, the fire is gone. Mm-hmm. I said, what? What do you mean? They said, there's no more fire. When we looked in your eyes, we saw so much hatred. The person told me that literally, they said, we saw the fires of hell in your eyes.
Well, let me ask you this question. How long did it take before you met your wife, your current wife?
I met her within a year. I just did not want to date nobody. Me and a woman would go out and eat together, sometimes on Sunday. We were just friends. I ended up meeting my wife through her. She was in our wedding, so everybody's friends. In fact, she bought the first copy of my book that went on sale.
That's good. That's good.
But
now, how long have you all been married now?
22 years, and our anniversary is June the 6th. Mm-hmm. And been married 22 years. She became a minister as well. Mm-hmm. We've been fortunate to talk to families, to children, teenagers, and the parents. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable the amount of parents.
Wow.
But there's so many hurting people. You know, hurt and pain does not discriminate age. Mm-hmm. Anybody, any age can hurt, and anybody, any age can think, I can't go on another day. But I can tell you, proof is in the book. The man upstairs, he'll take charge if you let him.
And you've seen that in your father and mother, haven't you, Ashley?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it make you want to be a minister as well?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
I mean, you're still young. You're only 16. You're a junior.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. But it's really having the parents that you do and the understanding of the two of them. And we're going to talk about this when we come back from the break. What has it done for you in working at your school or doing things and volunteering and working with your mom and dad, because you do? Mm-hmm. Being a minister's daughter, has it affected you in your schooling or in anything that you do?
I think it has. I do have a lot of friends that have a lot of problems at home and just a lot of personal problems that they want to keep to themselves. And what my mom and dad have both taught me is that just sitting there and listening is a good way to help somebody out. And so that's what I try to do with everybody.
And on that note, let's give your book out again and your website again, because people should rush out there and just get the book, right? And it's
Amazon.
One Last Hurrah, a story of making peace and making a difference. And I think your family is doing that. And we're going to be right back. What's that website again?
Yes, One Last Hurrah, web.com, www.onelasthurrah.com.
We'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's Born Before 64 after these timely messages.
For more information on our show, check out our website at www.bornbefore64.com.